Ciao, buongiorno, Master.
It's Prince Spaghetti Day, Wednesday.
And what's your name? Welcome,
Anthony,
everyone.
Anthony.
Welcome, everyone. Hope you're having a great day, no matter what day you're watching. Welcome back to another video of You, Me, and Sicily. If you're new here, welcome. So good to have you here. Lots to talk about, lots of developments in Italy as regards to travel. Also, big week for me. I got my carta de identità, which was really big. We've got a recipe from you, right? And a little show and tell. Look what I picked up today. Brand new in the market. I got this at the Ortofrutta, my fruit and vegetable place. And what is it? No, it's not olive oil. It's not sunflower oil. It's not apple juice. It's vino bianco. Cool little container, right? Usually it comes in like a water bottle. So I figured I'd try this out.
You know what we call that in Lawrence? Wino wine. The only thing missing is the brown paper bag.
Chin chin, what are you having?
Grappa today because it's a little bit chilly. You know what happened 9 minutes ago? What happened 9 minutes ago?
Welcome to Sicily.
We lost our electricity. We are on our backup generator. The You, Me, and Sicily backup generator, which is 3 mice on a little treadmill, but it's working fine so far, Bunny, right?
Your innovation, as always. Okay, so let's start out with really the biggest news here in Italy. Mario Draghi gave a press conference where he said that the country of Italy will be opening up May 15th for interregional travel. We haven't been able to travel to other regions, in other words, to places like Lazio, like Campania, like the other regions since I think before December. For sure, Christmas we weren't able to, but before then. So that's big. And the biggest announcement is on June 15th, it will be open to inter-European travel. So if you're a member of the European Union, you can travel, you can come here to Italy. Of course, you will have to have the green certificate, which is showing that you have been vaccinated or COVID-free for 6 months, or having been tested, have a negative test. So that is huge. And you know what is going to come next? Because the EU also this week started talking about opening up the frontieri, the frontiers to outside EU. So you guys, we're waiting. There's no date that has been announced, but this is huge that they're talking about this. What, in Italy, what percentage? About 13% of the economy is tourism around there?
Yeah, it's a lot. As Sicily is far more. But there's a little gleam of optimism. Finally, there's a little gleam of optimism. I think by July, August, September, the skies will be open.
We hope.
I think she's a little.
No, actually,
she's a negative Nelly.
If you know me, you know I'm not a negative Nelly. But now that Draghi spoke, I feel much more confident.
But if Alfred speaks, you don't feel that way, huh?
And it's not negative Nelly. It's more cautiously precautionary, because
everybody's had their hearts broken.
Exactly. Why get people's hopes up? But it's the first time that we heard some really good,
that is real good
news, right?
So far we have. Let me recap so far. Good, cheap wine that she's now drinking.
It wasn't cheap. This was €6 for 2 liters.
So it's €3 a liter.
Yeah. I mean, there's cheaper wine.
That's a buck and a half.
And it's actually not that bad.
Wine.
It's not that bad. It's a little bit like a Grillo.
Can I taste it?
No.
Come on,
you have to drink your drink. All right, why don't you give him a recipe?
Right now? No, I'm going to save my recipe.
Okay, we'll save the recipe.
Hundreds and hundreds of people on it.
Okay, so you guys,
pens.
I want to tell you a little bit about my experience. And by the way, I'm a Hungarian and American dual citizen. So I got my carta de identità through my Hungarian passport.
That's your identity card.
Right. So before we get into it, why don't you tell people what that is?
Well, first of all, I'm not giving out legal advice on the internet. That's not going to happen because I'm a lawyer. If anybody of you, here's what I want to say as my opening statement, okay? Yeah. Hire a lawyer. If you're going to get a resident card, hire a lawyer. If you don't hire a lawyer, you're on your own, so to speak. That's number one. Hire a lawyer, okay? Unless you speak fluent Italian and you can negotiate the bureaucracy, which is intense in Italy, hire a lawyer. That's number one.
I do not think I could have done this on my own has it not been for Massimo's help. I'll tell you that much.
Well, and
so
then
what is the card?
Okay, wait a minute. Card? Now, the identity card it's like a national ID, but it opens up the stairway to heaven, so to speak. You can literally travel on it without having to show a passport. Number two, we can go to any of these 27 EU states, or she could too. I've had mine. I just got mine renewed. Although the new cards now have a chip in them.
And they're electronic. You had the paper form before.
We had the paper form. So now they've really, the last 2 years especially, they've really like upped their game with these identity cards. But you have to figure out what category you belong in.
Well, before you do that, can you tell people, because one of the big things for me is getting my sanitaria, my health insurance.
Well, that's the next step. She just got her residency card yesterday. They gave her a temporary one until the plastic one comes in, which takes about 10 days. Then she could register for the healthcare system, the Italian healthcare system.
Which is a big deal here.
It's huge. It's huge. It's huge. It's huge, as they say. It's very, very big. She'll have her Italian health thing. And she can do everything except vote because she's not an Italian citizen. She's an EU national. But at some point in time, if she really wanted to apply for Italian citizenship down the road, I believe it's 5 years. I'm not sure exactly. 5 years. She can apply for Italian citizenship if she wants. But to get from here to there, however, you can't get there from here, as they say in Maine. There's a lot of stuff that you have to negotiate.
Yeah. So let me talk about some of the things.
Okay.
Because it was a long, long process. So what Massimo is Alfred's law partner here in Catania. He called the comune and asked, what exactly are the criteria that I need to have? Because during these COVID times, a lot has changed. A lot has changed. The rules
from comune to comune.
And from comune to comune, I have friends all over Sicily that have had a far different experience. And I'm talking about EU residents. So first of all, you have to have a rental agreement, your name on a lease or some kind of a piece of paper that says that you reside in that commune, right?
Wait a minute. Hold it. The lease has to be registered. That means... Good point. Registered means it goes to the tax authorities to make sure that no one is stealing money or getting paid under the table. So it has to be a registered lease, not just a lease.
So people have to double check and ask the landlords, hey, did you register, correct?
Correct. No, okay. I will rent this place on the condition that it's going to be registered and I want proof that you've done it. That's what you do.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Then you have to have your codice fiscale. Which
First, you have to have your codice fiscale.
Well, I'm just giving in no particular order.
You can't get a lease unless you have your fiscal code.
Oh, in no particular order. I'm just giving you guys this. So what is a codice fiscale, Alfred?
It's like a social security card. It really is for the tax authorities. It's your tax ID number, so to speak. It's the sine qua non of getting identity in the European Union, especially Italy.
And how do you get it?
They want to tax you.
And how do you get it?
You go to the fiscal agency, or you can do it right online. Contact the Italian consulate in the States, and the first thing you need to do is get that fiscal code. Period. Then you have a passport. You have an Italian passport. Well, then that's one criteria, getting an Italian passport. If you don't have an Italian passport, well, you're in category B, so to speak, as a non-Italian getting a resident card. That means you have to get one of the 15 or 16 different types of visas available, and you have to go to the questura, which is like the police, and get what they call a permesso di soggiorno, which is a permit to stay. There are different types of permesso di soggiornos for different amounts of time, ranging from if you want to go to school or if you want to work, or there's a bazillion types, or if you want a golden parachute, which means that you have a lot of money and you really don't have to do so much stuff, or whether you want to be an entrepreneur.
All types of things.
There's a bazillion different types of ways to skin the cat. Now, you can negotiate it yourself, or you get someone that knows what they're talking about.
Mhm.
and you let them do it.
Okay, so those are the two things. So first of all, my lease, my codice fiscale. Then I had to have health insurance, a permanent health insurance, right? I got it for a temporary health insurance for 3 months. And the way you do that is you go to the post office with a filled out piece of paper, and it was about 500 euro, about 500 euro to get that, right? So that's another thing I had to do. Then I had to show proof that I had a certain amount of money in an Italian bank account. Now, this was very interesting process. We went to four banks. I'm not going to name the banks. And three of them told me that I couldn't do it. I just could not do it with my Hungarian passport. And there were a lot of reasons that they came, obviously a lot of fraud situation and so forth. But then finally, the one bank that did say that they could do it, by the way, I have a few friends, Monica, that said they went and got their carta de identity card using an online bank, but we didn't want to chance it. So anyway, so we went to this bank, and let me tell you, it was quite an experience, starting with the parking right in downtown Catania, because we had to go to the main bank right in downtown Catania. And it was in the middle of the day. Parking was tough to find, but they have a small parking lot right in front of the bank. And parking is one thing that you have to understand here in Sicily is a little different in each place. Some places have a parking meter where you put in the first four digits of your plate, right? Yeah. And then you get a card. But there were people lining up around the parking machine, couldn't figure out how to do it because it was a brand new system that they had. So I ended up helping everyone. Anyway, so just to give you another example, in other places when we went to Acciariale, it was so funny. They didn't have those machines. You had to go to tabaccaria or some kind of a shop to buy them. But guess what?
Scratch tickets.
The scratch tickets that you scratched off the date and the time, right? But the funny thing about that is that we went at 3:30 and half the shops were closed. So I had to go and find it. Anyway, back to the bank. We went there twice.
The first time they had a cut the appointment shot. You know why? Listen to this, okay? You want to talk about Italian bureaucracy? Bureaucracy. Where were you born? She says Budapest, Hungary. So the lady types in Budapest, Hungary. The answer comes back, Budapest, Hungary is not in the European Union. What a moron, right?
The computer was wrong.
They had to call the meeting off until they got the glitch fixed.
Three hours later, and they asked 1 million questions. And the only reason, and we went there twice, 3 hours each. I had to sign my name at least 30 times. Why? To make sure that I signed it the same way each time. But the whole thing about this experience, and I haven't even talked about going to the community, where, by the way, they were super, super smart. Again, I had to go there twice. I have to go one more time because there's a lot of steps and a lot of unexpected. And as Massimo says, Alfred, there's always a story. There's always a story. There's always something new. And that's, one of the things I wanted to talk about.
I even bring Massimo with me to get it renewed.
And there was a story with you, too. Want to tell the story?
No. There was a problem with my renewal, a minor problem that we quickly rectified. But nonetheless, if you can't speak Italian to negotiate, so to speak, the ways that you have to do it, it's a pain in the ass. It really is. But it's a requirement. You need to have that resident card. With that, it's like a fundamental document that you should have. Okay? If you don't get the resident card, then you're always going to feel that little bit looking over your shoulder type of thing. So
and the other thing is, make sure you bring cash, because you had to pay the bolo, right? The little stamp at the tabaccaria for 16 euro. Then when I got my resident card yesterday, the temporary one, I had to pay 22.50, not 22
euro,
22.50.
And she also had to have about $7,000 or $8,000 in the bank. It was 6,500 euro in that bank account.
Minimum, that's why I had to open one.
Because they want to see that if you're going to be a resident from a non-EU country, that you're not going to become a ward of the state. That's why they do it.
Okay.
So it's completely different bunch of regulations for somebody coming from another EU country to here to get that resident card. The process is easy, but it's you need to
need to know how to do
yeah,
it.
you need to navigate it. But let me say this to you, okay? Do you know how much it costs to get a United States citizenship? Being a United States citizen from a foreign country with an immigration lawyer, you got to pay a minimum of $10,000, maybe more. Okay, could be $15,000. Okay, and I know because I went through it with my Dutch wife. It cost me almost $4,000 just to get the fiance visa, and then after the green card. Forget about being a citizen, but I spent all that money up front. So if you have to spend, say, $2,000 or $3,000 to get the resident card, maybe $4,000 if you have a problem, because there's always problems that you don't know about. It's worth it.
It's worth it, yeah.
Or else you got to just sweat bullets at night, and it's just really not a good thing to do.
All right, let's say hello to some people. Manny and
Hi,
Joe
Manny.
are here. Peter Scapoletti,
Peter.
Helen, B, and Don. We want to say thank you for your generous donation to our GoFundMe. We are so, so grateful. Jim Ingram, also thank you very much for his donation.
John Owens.
John Owens.
I love that guy.
Hey, I want to know where you guys are watching from.
Hi, Fred.
And if you have any questions for us, what's Mama cooking for us is here. Ciao, I have my grandmother's and my mother's birth certificate from Vizzini. Can I get dual citizenship?
Richard, that's the start of the process. That's not the end of the process. There's 528,621 other steps that you have to go through. Here's what I want to say to you about that, and here's what I want to say to other people about that who want to become dual citizens or get a resident card. Do some research, okay? Do not show up and try to do it yourself unless you've gone onto YouTube, looked at some videos, gone online and read articles, but most importantly, hire somebody that can go through the process with you, whether it's here in the States or whether it's in Sicily. Like, for example, me and my law partner, we get the ancient documents. We have researchers all over Italy that we find the documents, birth certificates, death certificates, baptismal certificates. And then when people come here and they want to do it at the local town hall, we assist them there, okay? There are other people called service providers. They usually charge about $6,000, okay? But they'll do everything for you. It's one-stop shopping. The process to become an Italian citizen typically is between 2 and 3 years, not quicker, okay? So there's a lot of stuff for you to do, but the problem is that people don't do their homework.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's you're becoming a citizen of the European Union. Conversely, if it's going the other way, when you become a citizen of the United States, you have to learn stuff. And by the way, your spouse would be eligible 3 years after you become a citizen, but there's another hurdle that she has to pass. She has to pass a background check, number one. And number two, she has to pass a language test, an Italian intermediate level language test, which you, if you're going by blood, do not have to do. So there's a lot of hurdles to go through.
Yeah.
Right?
From this whole big experience also, that no matter, what was written or what research we did, every community has something different. So you have to be prepared for the unexpected. And that's really true in everything here in Sicily. Prepared for the unexpected.
They were very nice to her.
They were very nice to both of us.
There was a reason, though, is because my people are right from the next 3 towns over. It's like a Steiney. If your name is Mabel O'Brien and you're from Duluth, Minnesota, and you come into an area, there's going to be a certain level, and there's nothing wrong with Duluth, Minnesota. I think that's a fictitious place, but whatever. There's a certain amount of curiosity as to why this stranger, is showing up at our town trying to get something. They're a little bit standoffish until they get that comfort level, I think.
Jim says, parking meters, sidewalks, side streets, double parking, they're all possible. Good wives.
Yeah.
What's Mama cooking? It says, how much do you have to have in your account?
About $8,000, just $8,000 US dollars, around 6,500 to 7,000 euro per person.
Ciao, Chiara is in the house. Now listen, Sean Lewis says this scares me all. Wait, this all scares me. Don't let it scare you. It's part of the process. It's a little bit of an adventure. It's a lot of fun learning about this. And, every time I went to the bank, I'm like, oh, what question are they going to need now? What are they going to have to check? I mean, literally 3 hours of questions of going through computers.
It's not so much being scared, Sean. You should be concerned that your paperwork is dead nuts accurate. Every T has to be crossed because it'll get rejected. If every T is not crossed and every I is not dotted, it's going to get kicked back to you. Okay? So you have to, as I say 1,000,000 times, measure 9 times and cut once. Okay? Check, recheck, triple check, everything you do.
First says, hi guys, just before we went live, I got a call from travel company Sheffield holiday for May is canceled. Oh, we booked for sure for September.
Yeah,
I don't know if you were here earlier, Fred, that I said June 15th, Italy is going to open up to other EU countries. Richard is watching from Staten Island.
Hi, Richard. How are you?
Let me just say.
My pleasure, Richard.
Let me see what Sean says. Well, I will say that I'm educate about it all now. I know so many Sicilian family members who think they can just go get their dual citizenship easily. It's not easy.
It's really not easy. And the same thing with trying to get a job. If you're going to show up and try to get a work visa and you don't have a job, they're going to laugh you out of town. Don't even waste your time, okay? There aren't any jobs here. Now, the other side of the story, say you're an entrepreneur or you're a business guru, an internet guru, okay? Let's say you're like Bill Gates, for example. That's just an exaggeration, but in those situations, you're going to have to show, you'll get a visa, you'll have to show your financial background. But if you invest €500,000 or more, and you can prove that you have €100,000 per year income or more per person, you can like skate into this country. Okay, the proverbial money talks, baloney walks is really true. If you're a migrant or if you're here seeking refuge from another country, a lot of these programs are not open to you. Okay, it sounds like it's discriminatory, but that's how it goes. If you're coming, say, for example, from the Mideast and you're fleeing persecution over there, you're not going to be able to get a lot of the programs. They have different programs under European Union protection, not like for you.
One thing that I forgot to mention, which was really, really interesting, that after the first time I went to the commune, I finally had my bank account, I had my codice fiscale, I had my health insurance for 3 months, a piece of paper from the post office, I had, the amount of money in the bank. The woman took all my information, did copies of everything, and then she said, in the next few days, a police officer is going to come to the house to make sure that you live there. So be prepared for that. And it was so interesting, you guys. So we're in COVID times, obviously, and we were in red zone. So the guy didn't come for 3 weeks. So I was on a double lockdown. Not
till
only
1 o'clock.
Till 1 o'clock. But here's the best part. So the guy finally came last week. Last week it was, right? Super nice police officer. He came in, we're filling out papers, and then, me, I chit chat, what's your name, blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, well, where are you from? I said, Boston. Oh, parente, I have family in Boston. And it turns out Alfred knows him.
It's from...
What a small world.
From Lawrence. Can you imagine that?
The whole police world, officer.
This guy's got a first cousin. So I said, who is he? He told me the guy's name. He passed away. The guy used to work for me at All Things Sicilian as one of my celebrity chefs.
This is so funny.
Right?
The police officer that came to see.
So him and I were buddies. And after he left, I said, this is a really good contact to have. I know a guy that's the sergeant in the police force over here that I was good pals with his cousin. It was unbelievable.
Anyway, so that's something, too, very interesting, right? The police actually come to your house to verify that you live there. Very interesting.
Well, there's one other thing.
What I did?
Wait
a sec. I wanted to say one more thing, that Alfred is really good about doing this. That once, this was our second time at the community. We have to go one more time. But they put up a lot of work into it. They work for the town. But they went an extra mile for us, even walked us down to show us another building, blah, blah, blah. And we bought them some cookies.
What's this we? You have a rat in your pocket? We?
Sweetheart, I gave you credit.
Okay. Oh, she gave me credit. Okay.
Were you listening?
I just brought him some cookies.
Listen,
I brought him some
guys.
10 years ago, and the woman remembered me from 10 years ago. You're the guy 10 years ago that brought cookies when you got it.
Vermont cannoli. Oh, Vermont cannoli. Town greetings from New Hampshire. I finally made it to a live broadcast.
Yeah.
I have a 1948 case, and this week I have an appointment. Wow.
Good. Do you know of this agency?
Ciao,
What's the agency?
Mizio.
No, I don't. But the best guys to get, there are one guy's in Rome, the other guy's in Milan. They usually cost around between 4,500 and 6,000 euro for that 1948 case, which is a discrimination
Helen says,
case.
Are there?
Can I finish my talking?
Sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead.
And the American attorneys, I'm not that familiar with at all. Okay, what I would do is I would hire a lawyer that has an innate knowledge of the local Supreme Court in either Milan or Rome, where all the litigation is being brought. There's a tremendous success rate for those. There's a couple of guys, as I said, that are really have been leading the charge.
Yeah.
And there's legislation in the Parliament right now to change that rule. I'd say within 3 years, that 48 rule.
What do you think? What do you predict?
I think the rule's going to get it's
Overturned?
Well, there'll be a new rule. I mean, it's a discrimination. Why for a woman born before 1948 can't pay? That's ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
So they got to change it. They got to
All
change
right. Helen says, are there North American banks in Sicily, Italy that you can transfer funds for?
No. The only
Chiara,
one that's
I know,
here,
right?
Wait a minute. The only one that's here that I know of but it's a commercial bank, is a Santander Bank. However, I also know that in New York City, there are a couple Italian banks, major ones like Eurocredit, for example. Intesa San Paolo, I believe, is also in New York. But you need to call those banks up and say, hey, look, I'm going to Italy. I'm going to open up this bank account here. Can that be the same as the one in Italy? I mean, and you know why? I'm going to tell you why. Because when you go to a local branch to open up an account, they keep your portfolio. It's not like a Bank of America, for example, where you can walk into any branch and you could say, call up my account, please. I want to find out what the story is. They don't do it like that. You'll be told, go back to your branch, and they're the ones that can help you because they have they call it a dossier. Their dossier, yeah.
Richard said, it's a pleasure listening to both of you. I wish they checked people coming here. Here, I want to know, you guys, where your family is from here in Sicily. Mizio says, sorry, entered now. What do you mean by residence card? If you can just get a quick sentence out.
Okay.
We did talk about it a lot.
A resident card is your national identity card, okay? You have to have it in order to open up the gates, so to speak, for the benefits of living here, or else you could simply come here on a visa, okay? As an American citizen, you can come for 90 days with nothing, just your American passport, but then you have to leave the European Union for 90 days, but then you can come back. So for any one calendar year, you can come here 2 times for 90 days. But if you want to stay for a year, for example, you have to have a legitimate visa, not the one that's just for a tourist visa. You can't do that. We just got out, Jimmy.
So Katana, which is our town, and a bunch of towns around Sicily are in the red zone. Some of them are still in the red zone, but it looks like we have some good news in Sicily. It's not official yet. We may be going into the yellow zone, which is much more freedom on the 10th. So what does that mean? That means that after months of being closed, restaurants and bars can open. And this is brand new under the national guidelines.
Happy day.
Under the national guidelines, the restaurants can stay open until dinner. We haven't had that happen till about October. But here's a caveat. You can only have lunch inside. Dinner can only be served outside, and starting on June 1st, you can also eat inside. Now, there is a gradual opening, and it's going to happen week by week. Gyms are going to be opening. Museums are going to be opening, also under the yellow zone. So that's the update. Madagascar, thank you so much for the super chat.
Grazie.
Grazie mille. So if you
Hey.
guys don't know what a super chat is, it's just one of the ways that you can help support this channel. There's a little dollar sign or euro sign down at the bottom. You just press that. The other big thing that we have going on that's brand new is we have memberships. Brand new. Hey, there are some members over here. It's $1.99, $1.99 a month. $1.99
Cup of coffee
a month. And there are a lot of members in this chat right now. Did you guys see the new badges I created with the Trinacria? And also, I shared a recipe in there today. But wait a sec. The other thing I want to tell you.
How do you join?
You next to the subscribe, there's a little join button, and you hit the join. You can find it on any of our videos, or if you go to Yumi and Sicily on our main page. And the other thing I want to
wait a minute, let me just finish that.
The other thing I want to mention to you guys that there's the free videos that we do, that we will continue to do. These live chats, we will continue to do it. We're just doing a little bit something extra here and there.
And they're like outtakes, they're like private recipes, they're like little videos that we shoot, just different stuff that for one reason or another does not get put into our free
it's
stuff,
a little bit more access to
we have
us.
a lot of our friends who we consider to be family, who we like to just show stuff to. And basically Esther and I are creating a separate community of those people for $1.99 a month. And like I said to her, I says, when you go home, I'm going to give you a whole bunch of stuff. And these people that are on this thing, I want you to mail them out something. So we'll get you some stuff over here. I'm not going to promise what it is, but I got a bazillion. We have a whole suitcase with the stuff I want to ship back, whether they're postcards from Sicily, authentic postcards from Sicily. Mapinas, T-shirts, stuff like that.
We'll
something
put a
will
list.
just show up in your mailbox.
Chiara, finally, with the restaurants opening, my uncle's restaurants has been closed for so long. Where's your family's restaurant? I'm so happy finally, because we want to go support the local restaurants. We miss our friends. We miss supporting our local restaurants. So let me know where. Italian dual citizenship has their office in Bologna. I'll check it out and see how it goes. P.S. I finished your book, Reverse Immigrant, and love that.
That's thank you, great. Vermont Cannoli. What part of Vermont are you from? Burlington?
Her and I have been chit-chatting. Metastar, all your information is right. Okay, let me know what else you want to hear.
I want to get back to one thing.
Chiara, grazie mille.
Thank you. Chiara just became a member.
Now, why can't we see the new Trinacria badges, I wonder?
Who knows? But let me just say one thing, okay? She alluded to a little issue that I had, but here's what the issue was. You have to pay a garbage pickup tax 4 times a year. And I believe it cost me, I don't remember what it is. I think it's $200 or $210 a quarter to pick up the garbage, which, by the way, has to be separated. And they're militant about the separation, like 5 different things you have to do. But now, since Esther is officially a resident, that means that I have to pay, or we have to pay more money for our share of the garbage pickup.
Imagine that.
Because 2 people, not 1 people. So that sounds kind of easy, doesn't it? All right. So first I had to have a declaration drawn up. All right. Okay. Then I had to get a Macca di Bollo, €16. I had to submit a photocopy of my resident card. Remember?
I remember.
What a pain in the, just so for my privilege to pay more money to have the garbage picked up. So I said to Massimo, I says, well, what happens if I say the hell with it, just like I do in the States, and don't, ignore all this stuff? He says, no, you can't do that, you can't do that. So, he called me up and he expedited to make sure I did it.
Mizio says, thanks, but the residence card should be called identity card.
Right.
We called that at the beginning. Carta di identity card.
Yeah. Right. Identity, I call it the identity card.
We just moved to Walpole, New Hampshire from Andover, Vermont. Cool.
Oh.
I'm from Andover, Massachusetts. How funny is that?
I've
been to Andover, Vermont. Of course there is. Grazie mille. What's Mama cooking?
Thank you. So she's another good.
Since another. Okay.
Cup of coffee. That's all it is a cup of Java Joe.
Listen, you guys, if you guys are new around here, make sure you subscribe to our channel so you know when we go live. And here's the big news about the video that's coming up. It's going to be Pizza making. Whoops.
Listen to this, right? While she's getting that person off the phone, I've been raving about her pizza for the last 6 months. Okay, she's been making pizza for me at home for about a year. Ever since we got stuck inside, she decided she's going to learn how to make it. And once Esther
I probably made it some before,
Yeah.
but sporadically, maybe once or
but once
twice.
she gets a bug in her bonnet, forget it. She's got to like look at a bazillion different videos, and she's going to become an expert on this. So the first one was good. The second one. So now, after I don't know how many she's made me.
Well, let's say
they're
we
terrific,
made
right?
almost once a week.
Once a week. They're like I don't want to go out to get pizza anymore. And I'm a pizza connoisseur. So, anyways, I conned her, begged her. I had to bribe her to do a video on how to make Esther's pizza. So we
Sicilian pizza.
So we shot it this week in the house using our home, kitchen. It's not like she's not Martha Stewart or whatever, and I'm not like whoever the great director is. But guess what? We did a good one, and she's just finishing up on
the editing. Oh, look who's
the
here!
editing.
Look who's here, guys! Our neighbor. Saluti tutti, Francesco.
Look at that. He got something for us. Okay.
Wait a sec, I'll get it. Grazie mille. All right, wait a sec. I gotta go get this. Wow, let's see what he brought us.
Oh, she brought. Okay.
Grazie mille.
See,
Grazie mille, grazie
Francesco
mille.
says to say hello. The guy, he's the best neighbor I ever had. He always, I think he has a crush on Esther. I swear to God. He brings her stuff every night. Look at this. What did Francesco
Not
bring?
every. He brings you. Remember he
What
brought
is
us.
it,
Remember he brought us the oranges.
Oh, he brought some.
You guys.
What is this? Look at this.
Oh my God! Talk about live TV.
Oh, happy
This
day.
is from Truglio Pasticceria. Comes in this. They do such a beautiful
Look at how
job
they serve it, though.
packaging.
I mean,
Packaging here,
look
like
at that.
they're.
It's got a little dish underneath it. Can you see it? A little dish. I go back to the States.
Vermont
I'm bored.
cannoli.
Vermont cannoli.
Wait a sec, I gotta open this up. I'm not gonna test it, but ooh,
It's a piece of chocolate.
there's something in it. Oh,
Maybe
I'm gonna open this a little later.
All right, honey.
That was special.
That was very. The guy is
Last week or a
what
couple weeks
great-
ago, I don't know if you saw.
Hi, Richard, new member.
I don't know if you guys saw on either Facebook or somewhere, but he bought us like 3 pounds or 4 pounds of oranges.
No, there was so many oranges we had to give half of them to the cleaning lady. There must have been 50. They weren't oranges; they were tangerines.
Okay.
They were tangerines. They were just and they were so
thank you,
good.
Richard.
It was so good. The other thing is that when we go home, of course, we haven't been home in a long time. He waters all our outdoor plants for us, so we come home and nothing is dead. I mean, what kind of a neighbor do you? It's something.
And he was seriously unbelievable when I broke my leg and
Yes,
you were in the States. He came over every single day. He brought me food. He brought me water. He came just to make sure that I was okay. So,
but you don't want to know. Plus, he owns a factory in Katana. The guy's got more money than God. I keep on saying it.
Yeah, he works. What does his family or something
He
like
makes.
that?
You know what he does? He makes gaskets. He owns
Right.
a gasket making company, from small gaskets for the cars to big gaskets. He's like the only guy in Southern Europe that makes them, right? And he has just 2 other guys making them. But the guy's a workaholic. I think he works 6 or 7 days.
Well, he works 6 days, and then on the 7th day
Crazy.
he goes to Augusta to see
Yeah,
his family.
yeah.
Pizza con melanzana. You guys,
James.
what is your favorite pizza? Let me know. Okay.
No, we just made. We're gonna make a
Don't
margarita pizza, right? You just made a margarita pizza, right?
don't worry about pizza between 2020 and everyone knows how to cook pizza since they got stuck. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe some people will be able to use it. Hopefully.
Yeah, thank you. You're right. God bless his heart. The guy's got a heart of gold too.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now.
Okay, let me say this before you go. We're not leaving yet. I have fell in love with you guys. Alfred, enjoying your books.
Thank you.
You guys are like my family, and I can't wait to.
Sean, we feel the same way too.
We do.
There's a lot of people, like, for example, B Tatone and her husband. These are 2. She's a retired nurse, and Dawn, her husband. These are 2 of the nicest people. We met them 4 years ago on a tour, and now we talk all the time. Jimmy Ingram, for example, Joe Ascione, within the last year or so, Peter Schiapoletti, he's my tutor on how to grow stuff. You should see my lettuce. It's coming up. I can't believe it.
Mm-hmm.
I was telling my brother Tommy, we've generated more terrific friends.
Yeah, it's a great community over here.
Even ever since we started the chats. I mean, I think it's great that we're doing these chats.
And we love to see the interaction, and maybe some people are from the same area here in Sicily. Maybe you can find something in common. We love, love, love this community, and so thankful that you guys are here. Chiara, before I forget, don't forget to write me the name of your family's restaurant, because I really like to.
Is Chrissy Leone here today?
No.
No.
What a great neighbor! Everybody.
Yeah, but we don't have the guy downstairs. Thank God he moved out. I hated this guy. I mean, he was a real jerk. And now this really nice lady just moved in with the 2 kids. Right? She's a Sicilian gal, but they were in Kenya for 10 years.
She was the photographer for the UN.
For the United Nations. Her name is Maria Grazia.
We got to get together with her.
Yeah, and she's a photographer. So I said to Esther, I said, we could use another set of hands over here in some of these videos, because once we start traveling, the first place we have to go to is Santo Stefano di Camastra, right?
Yeah.
And do we want to go to Tindari too?
Probably.
Yeah, there's a couple of places we have to go to on these ancestral. I think one place we have to go to on ancestral videos, and I'd like to introduce a third, I don't know, like personality. Like, I'm thinking about Juliana, Esther's friend, Juliana, but I want to get an Italian gal who can introduce us even deeper to people. I think it's important that you folks see for your own eyeballs and hear with your own earballs, so to speak, the joy of Sicilian people as they see what we're doing. I mean, I think it's important that. So, and I'd like to get.
I also, Manny had a good idea. I want to go and talk more to locals about everyday life, and that's something, Manny. Now that we're out of red zone, we're going to do it. Ciao, have you done videos on the beaches of Sicily?
Yeah.
Good to see you, Leonard. Well, we've done regions of Sicily, and if they have a nice beach, we do talk about it, but we haven't done a comprehensive only about that.
Hey,
Freddie, thank you so much. You became a YouTube member.
Can I say something?
Yes.
All right. Remember last week I gave you the recipe for
good idea.
Wait a minute, with carne with modiga, the meat with the breadcrumbs on top of it. I said you get a nice cut of meat and you put it in the breadcrumbs like this, and the breadcrumb mixture you use breadcrumbs, salt, and pepper, a little bit of parsley, and you dip it like this, right? And then we broiled it. No, did we broil it? Yeah, we broiled it. It was terrific, right? So, but I wasn't that crazy about the costata that we got, the piece of steak that we got. It was thick, right? Steak. They call a steak here costata. All right, and there's a bazillion different types of costatas. So I said to her, let me go to another store and I want to try another piece of meat and make another one. All right. So we went to this other market, and my head must have been up my butt when I ordered it. But the guy, I thought I had told him I wanted a half a kilo, which is a little over a pound, and he showed me the piece. And it was about that thick. It looked like the thickness I wanted. But when I got home, I found out it was only 300 grams. That's like half the amount that I wanted. But the piece of beef that I selected was a cut of beef from Scotland. Now, I had never tasted beef from Scotland, okay? It looked really good. So I said, you want to know something, Esther? I'm not going to make the carne with modiga. I'm going to do it like the French do. And what the French do here is they pan fry it with butter. Okay, they put it on the stove, a nice hot pan. You put a chunk of butter in, and then you flash cook it for 4 minutes on both sides, right? And I made myself a proverbial steak and cheese sandwich that I have to say to you, the steak for the first time, and I don't know how many years, it melted in my mouth.
But when we made it at the slow cooker, it was pretty good too.
No, but this isn't a slow cooker.
No, I'm saying when you made it in the slow cooker.
I never made a steak in a slow cooker. I didn't make a steak in a slow cooker. I made a pot roast in a slow cooker.
Okay.
A slow cooker is good, but there's nothing like a good pan fried, whatever. If you know how to cook good pan fried, okay, it's really an art. The French have really developed an art for cooking pan fried. Or broiler too, you know.
Chiara says it's Monte Colo di Roberto Maggiore on the Nebrodi Mountains when I come to Sicily. That sounds great.
I love the Nebrodi
John
Mountains
is here
books.
from New Jersey. Carolyn is here. Carolyn, I'm going to call you if you have some time afterwards. I'm going to call you and walk you through on how to do it.
Happy day.
I'm very proud that you have entered the Italian mentality and are living in a very, very interesting country, especially because Italy è un museo a cielo aperto, the open sky museum. It is so true.
You know, I don't think the Sicilian people, the Italian people, or a good chunk of them really know the history of Italy. They don't know the history of their own oppression. It really irritates me when I talk to people about, what do you mean the Arabs were here? What do you mean the Sicilians? No, there's a lot of people that, listen, Esther, you run around with a highly intelligent crowd, okay? I'm talking about the mental midgets of Sicily. And there are a lot of mental midgets, and they don't know anything. They can't get out of their own way, all right? There are, I would say that 30%, 20% of the people here in the hinterlands especially, they're not educated whatsoever.
Well, I think if I could correct you, because that's something really important that they even teach in schools. What they don't teach and they don't talk about, and the Normans, most people, I would say, know about this, are things like the sulfur mining. I was surprised, even with my friends, they don't teach that. Right. When it comes, I'm sorry, honey, I have to disagree with you when it comes with the Arab domination, blah, blah, blah. But that's also like in other parts of the world, where in Hungary, before, the communists didn't talk about many things in the books. My mom always says, when she went to Hungary post 1989, before the books were this thin, afterwards they were this thick, because people left out things from history.
You should listen, okay? History books are written by the victors.
Exactly.
Okay. Also, the United States and Italy, they're really not history books. They're political history books. Okay. In other words, certain publishers, they want to present a certain point of view, and the writers represent the political view of their writers. Okay. So as a result, you're not getting the true picture in history. Okay. So you have to do your own research in history. That's the bottom line. You have to do your own research.
Okay. How are rental prices in Catania?
Cheap.
Okay.
Make sure you
get your international driver's license at AAA.
Let me just answer her question. Okay. Cheap. What do I mean by cheap? You can get a good place in Catania for €700 a month. That'll be a 2-bedroom. Okay. You want a better place, you can spend €800 a month. If you want a nice 3-bedroom in a very desirable part of town, you can spend €1,000 a month. So it depends on, when you say how are rental prices, it depends on a lot of things. What are you looking for? Yeah. Do you want a garage? Do you want 3 bedrooms? Do you want 2 bedrooms? Some people don't like to walk upstairs. Okay. Massimo lives in a 6-decker. One of those apartment buildings where I swear to God, when I get into that elevator, I have to go in one way and turn around. I get claustrophobia. It's like a box 3 feet square. Right?
Something funny. They have similar ones in Hungary. It's so funny.
I swear to God, I get claustrophobia when I go. Yeah. Matter of fact, he lives on the 3rd floor. I always walk up the stairs. There's no way that I can go into those. And some of these places in the post-World War II concrete places that I was alluding to a week ago, they were built by primarily the mafia, 5, 6 story high buildings. They don't have any. They don't have any elevators.
Yeah.
So it depends on where. Look.
Vermont Cannoli says, I've spent my summers over the past 30 years in my small mountain village, Locati, in the Mondonia Mountains. I'm related to half the town.
Yeah.
That's great.
Now, is that near Corleone?
Okay.
I wonder if it is.
So I want to tell you guys about
National Park. Where is it? It's great.
Yeah, leave us a comment. I had such a fun morning. I went over to my friend Vanessa's house
this morning,
because we're doing our cooking book, and she is a fantastic cook. I got a caponata recipe from her from before. I did a video with her. But today we did Netta de Sepia.
Oh,
Wrote out the ingredients and how to
are
make.
you going to make it
netting.
for me?
I have to test it out, right? I should.
Oh,
I should.
happy day.
You guys know what that is? Leave me a comment if you know what this is. So delicious.
All right,
And
give you my recipe
like
now.
it.
Can I give you my recipe?
No, wait a second.
All right.
And the other thing that we did, and I'm gonna probably do a little short. I did a little short video with her. She was making strawberry marmalade with fresh strawberries. She had 4 pounds of fresh strawberries because it's strawberry season for us here now. And she was making it. So I got a recipe.
It's simple. It's 50% sugar.
So
Did you
that
know
was
that half
fun.
of those things are 50% sugar because of the strawberries and the berries will go rancid? You put a little bit of whatever it's called. There's one acid in there, like a lemon acid, to do that. But could I get my recipe now?
Yes.
Okay. Now listen to me, folks.
Listen to him.
This is from the ancient sacred vaults of the Zappala family. Okay.
Whoa.
This comes from the year 1918. How does that sound? Okay. It's been in my family as an heirloom. As a matter of fact, I had to sign a paper that's saying for the first 50 years of my life, I couldn't give it out. Okay. This is a soup. Okay. It's a blessed and glorious soup. Now, you can use either broccoli or cauliflower, white cauliflower or purple cauliflower, the florets of either one. Now, you know what the florets is? The little flowers on top. You cut them off, the florets. Now, there are 2 ways to prepare those florets. There's like the easy way, which is not good. You just throw them and you boil them. Or as a real perfectionist does, you chop them up into small, tiny pieces. Boop, 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 boop. You chop each floretta. Right?
And if they're a little bit bigger than what he likes, you know he picks them up and brings them to me.
Yes, I do. But anyways, so you get your water, your boiling water, and you bring the water to what I call an angry boil. You know what an angry boil is? That means it's like bubbling. It's not like little beep, beep, little bubble. Oh, Alfred, it's boiling. I said, Esther, it's not an angry boil. Okay, then you put these florets in there, right? And you put salt in there and you put extra virgin oil, okay? But you're going to put a little bit more water than you normally would because that magic elixir that you're preparing right now, boiling either cauliflower or broccoli, with all the health benefits, chock full of antioxidants and all this other stuff, is going to be the exact same water that you're going to boil your small pasta, any type of pastina, a ditali. I like the little ones that are shaped like little pieces of rice, okay? You get a cupful of the pasta and you put it in with the boiling water and you put it in with the cooking up cauliflower or broccoli, all right? Until it takes about, see, the reason is it only takes about 5 or 6 minutes to cook that particular pasta. They're so small, right? Tiny. And then you put it into a bowl, okay? It has to be a good bowl worthy of this meal. Not some little crappy little bowl made in, I don't know where, the J.A. Pan Company. Get a good freaking bowl, all right? And some good cheese. If you get cheese that's in a paper container, you're going to burn in the fires of hell. Forget it. Get a good Parmigiano cheese, all right?
Parmigiano Reggiano.
Grate it. For heaven's sake, grate it, okay? Put a little bit of more EVO on, black pepper, and a little bit of cheese. And then
Alfred.
You say, Oxionis Nostris, Quasimus Dominic. You'll see the stairway to heaven open up as you're eating this.
Bravo, Alfred.
Okay?
Bravo.
That's Alfred's secret.
Bravo. Or
Broccoli or cauliflower
my dad
soup.
used to go, this is the clap
Come
that
on.
you get.
This
is the clap that you get from me.
Great soup. Okay, not a good soup.
I love to make soup. This week I would love making you some soup. Hey, I want to know from you guys what recipe you guys would like to know more about. here from Sicily. The other thing that I was talking to her about,
Jam.
Vanessa,
I want to make some jam.
I was talking to Vanessa about some different pasta things that she had, and she was doing the with the fried zucchini. And
I want to try that. That's
the
a good
fried
thing
zucchini.
to try. Yeah.
And what she does is she slices them and then she puts ricotta salata
On the cheese, she drags them in flour, a little salt and pepper in the flour, and she drags them like this. What does she do?
Nope, just with the olive oil. And you can also put some onions, and then you put them on the pasta and you put the ricotta salata. You guys know what ricotta salata is, right? It's a salty.
To me, it's too salty. I can't do that stuff.
Okay.
Ricotta is good. Ricotta salata is salty. They bake it and they put salt in it to keep it together.
With a great accent, the more you
Sean,
drink. No,
what does that say?
Carolyn, I know, he's nuts.
How do you guys know?
Okay, wait a second. Excuse me.
The kagutsa?
Excuse me, Sean. I can't. At the beginning of the show, I showed this. I found this. This is a brand new product at the Ortofrutta. It is white wine from Pacchino. Remember we keep talking about the
Pacchino generally has good wine.
Out of Pacchino. Yeah. Well, this is the white wine from here, and it's pretty good, you guys. It's not bad.
Pacchino's got all good products like tomatoes, of course. The melons are just
they're so good.
The melons you just die for. And
okay.
Fruity olive oil is really
Do you guys know a good jam made from the cucuzza? I will have to look.
No, I have never heard of that.
James says I do the same, but I saute a chopped onion and the broccoli florets first. The build might from there. That's
Jimmy,
right.
how does the chopped onion hold up in the soup? Is it okay? I mean, I don't put the onion in.
Yeah, sometimes we do. Of course we do. When I make your soup, I put onion. I made one last year, and I was mostly sugar, and I felt bad about it because I wanted to be more cucuz. I've never heard of it.
You need to have 50% of, no matter what jam you make it's got to be 50% or 45% sugar. Period.
John says, are you letting your hair grow long like when you were a TV reporter?
Yes,
Bella?
she is.
Grazie.
John, she is. I used to call her CNN Esther. Pretty soon we're going to have her sitting. Hi, this is Esther Vida reporting live from WABC in Duluth, Minnesota. Where were you from?
Magadaster said, had the J&J vaccine, can highly recommend it. I don't want to hear it. Let's not talk about it. Let's not talk about it. Thank you very much. Okay. What was the other thing that we wanted to discuss?
There's 10,000 things we could discuss. What are you talking about?
Okay, wait a second. I'm not. No, we had a list. Ciao, and thank you for your company. Now I'm going to cook pasta alla carbonara. There you go.
That's good.
Ciao. Come back on Sunday, Mizio. Come back and say hello to us.
All right, we have 2 minutes or 3 minutes
look
left.
At that. Diana Sawyer II.
You want to know something,
Want to hear
Jimmy?
something funny? That one video.
Just as competent.
One video I did on Mount Etna in February when we had the big eruption. Someone said I look like either Martha Stewart or Diane Sawyer. That is so funny.
My bun stuff.
Okay, I watched Sicilian video, old recipe called cooked water. Cooked water.
I don't know what that is. Cooked water.
Cooked water.
Acqua caldo.
Acqua caldo. All right. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, glad you could
time are we on?
Join us. We will be back here. Watch for my pizza video coming probably Friday or Saturday. Meanwhile, we'll be back here on Sunday. Thank you so much for your time.
This was fun today. I really enjoyed you folks tuning in. It was really, really blessed for you. It really was.
Arrivederci, grazie.
The grappa was terrific. I'm drinking a nice Chardonnay.
The conversation with you was pretty okay today.
Thank you, sweetheart. She's my little honey bunny. Grazie mille.
Ciao.
Peter, love you. Ciao.